Long ago, there was a wealthy kingdom named Suryagarh, nestled between tall mountains and thick forests. There was never a shortage of crops here, and the people were very happy. The kingdom's Princess Avni was incredibly kind. But sadness entered her life when her father, King Martan, mysteriously disappeared. After that, the greedy commander Bhanu Pratap seized the throne. He put Avni under house arrest and made life difficult for the people by taxing them heavily. But this time, it wasn't just injustice, even nature seemed angry with Suryagarh. It hadn't rained for several months. The rivers had dried up and the ponds were cracked. The once green fields had now turned into barren land. Soldiers came to the villages every day, and if anyone couldn't pay the tax, they took away their grain. There was hunger on one side and thirst on the other. People were desperate for even a single sip of water. Mothers would put their children to sleep by showing them empty pots and promising water tomorrow. But that tomorrow never came. Suryagarh's misery and the cries of the people reached the high tower of the palace, where Princess Avni was locked away. She was helpless, but one night, her luck changed. Devu, a brave and clever woodcutter who gathered wood from the forest behind the palace, was deeply hurt by the cruelty toward the people and Avni's imprisonment. One evening, risking his life, he climbed the palace wall and reached Avni's window. Avni was shocked to see him. Devu quietly told her that Bhanu Pratap planned to force her into marriage soon to declare himself king, and time was running out. Avni trusted him and decided to escape from the palace. In the dark of the night, used secret paths to slip out of the palace. And they headed deep into the thick forest. After a long journey, they reached Devu's small hut inside the forest. There were no comforts there, but for the first time, Avni saw the real world outside the palace. Drought, poverty, and emptiness were everywhere. That night felt like a total nightmare for Avni. Her heart broke to see her hungry and miserable people outside the palace walls. Devu comforted her, and they both decided they would never bow down to Bhanu Pratap's tyranny. As soon as morning came, they heard the soldiers' voices, so they ran into the forest to save their lives. Devu had known this forest since childhood, so he took Avni inside an old, hidden cave. The soldiers passed right by the cave while looking for them. Once they were safe inside the cave, Devu and Avni made a plan to save the kingdom. Avni shared that her father had once mentioned a magical gemstone hidden in an old temple in the forest. That gem is so powerful that it can end the kingdom's drought and bring back prosperity. The two decided they would find the gem and end Bhanu Pratap's tyranny. Devu and Avni knew they couldn't face Bhanu Pratap's large army on their own. So, under the cover of night, Devu met with the people from the nearby villages. Avni also went out in public herself to expose Bhanu Pratap's evil intentions. Seeing their princess among them, the hungry and struggling villagers agreed to fight against Bhanu Pratap. Leading the crowd, Devu and Avni reached the temple on the highest mountain in the forest and found the magical gem. Suddenly, Bhanu Pratap arrived there with a large number of soldiers. Just then, at Devu's signal, thousands of villagers hidden behind the rocks charged at the soldiers with sticks and clubs. On one side were well-armed soldiers, and on the other were people fighting to save their land. Meanwhile, a direct sword fight broke out between Devu and Bhanu Pratap. Using his bravery and clever wits, Devu defeated Bhanu Pratap and captured him. Seeing their commander lose, the rest of the soldiers fled. As soon as the fight ended, Avni placed the magical gem in the temple. Suddenly, dark clouds filled the sky, and it began to pour rain. The dry rivers filled up with water once again. Bhanu Pratap was thrown into prison. The villagers chose Avni as their new queen, and made the brave Devu the chief protector of the kingdom. In this way, happiness and prosperity returned to Suryagarh once more.